you. I would like to reach out to my brother International and maybe have you as a guest host, and I could reach out for that. I would love to hear what you have to say and go into detail on this because I have a hypothesis. I'll break it down real quick that Rome never fell, and I have plenty of evidence to support this hypothesis. And it migrated. It turned into something else, much like the eugenics committee turned into the bioethics. As soon as it's exposed, then it gets transferred into something different, and we don't know about it. And once we learn about it, they use the same blueprint. So when
Michael,
America, go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, just to add to your point, I'll pass it right back. Rome didn't fall. What happened in the Bible, Daniel prophecy 2, the statue prophecy, it went down into the toes. It was divided. It didn't fall. It's still, running empire. Go ahead.
It was perfected, actually, to the point to where we think net worth is worth. So they got us to the point to where we don't even know what value is to be able to track down where the money leads. It only leads so far, and once we get there, now we have a whole nother spectrum we have to learn about. So when I say that Rome didn't fall, and then I say it moved to Great Britain and the Vatican, and it transferred, it distributed itself, and then we had America, and then America never really won the war. If we look from a general's perspective, once our enemy's gaining traction on us, we'll give them the illusion that they're winning and that they're winning, and then we'll pacify them so we can contain or we can keep our control and keep our latches and keep our resources. So it's all about resources. Notice that these people that are up at the top, they know wealth, so they don't care about the money. They'll spend the money, they'll donate
They
the money to the
print
right
it.
place.
They literally print it, and they put
Absolutely.
all through these tax exempt foundations. Money is no object. They just put everyone in debt, and literally through that debt, they are able to. I mean, this is the thing, right? The more I hear myself talk, I'm like, oh my God, she's one of those, right? Like I hear that. I hear that because I am speaking in that very, like when we say the word they and this and that, like, but there is no, guys, like, there's no other way to put it. There's no other way to express it or say it. I mean, other than that, it'd be disingenuous. And a lot of times I try to monitor how I sound because I feel like it's important that we are able to express these truths without losing people that sometimes just don't really have the capacity to kind of accept, it just sounds like, oh, that's just too conspiracy. But I think that it's kind of reached a point where, like, if it is what it is, like it. And I'm sorry I cut you off, and by the way, international
No,
popped up
no,
too.
no, you're absolutely good, Maze. You're absolutely right. And that's the hardest part to talk about to some people, and that's going to be the most difficult conversations to bring to somebody's attention, because that's the first thing when you learn it, you turn your head like, no, this can't be real. And then eventually, if you're a lover of truth, you're going to go back and you're going to pick up your search where you left off. So I just like to say it extended back all the way to when we thought we won the war, which they knew we were going to, so they gave us the illusion of freedom and that we won, and then to an extent we did, except for we dropped the ball. And when we had the Civil War, Lincoln has been quoted saying that he was doing this to preserve the Union. So let's translate that to preserve Rome. And then when I hear the Q movement now, I'm considering that's the similar illusion that we have to get us to still continue to have trust in man and never actually cut the ties and go straight to our source and trust in our God given rights and our liberty in pursuit of happiness, which has liberated every nation that took a stand. When I see Elon, I see Robert the Bruce. And when I hear Mays, I see you as William Wallace. I see International as William Wallace. I see Sean as William Wallace and Pepe and Phil, and then he's the one that lets you know that, yes, you let our people be raped and plundered and pillaged because you didn't know. It was out of sight, out of mind. So you're desensitized from it. It doesn't personally affect you. But when you come in contact with this pure source, you are affected by it. And this is who you are to Elon. And this is who I am to Elon. And this is how we're going to change. Everybody's an agent until they unplug. And these people are so sophisticated, they got us to the point to where we're unplugging from a matrix within a matrix and thinking we're unplugged. This is how deep it goes. It's no longer double psyop. We have triple, quadruple psyops, and we're cutting through the bullshit with people like us. And this is what they fear, and this is the solution. And because they own all the cameras, they're not selling us defeat. They're selling the people, the 1%. They're giving them the illusion that they're on the winning side. And the more pressure we put on them, that's when Q will start making sure that chemtrails stop. And then I was following Q and I loved it, and I was very optimistic until one post I saw a Q drop where the chemtrails were out, and I looked out and the sky was clear, and I'm like, this is really happening. And then it wasn't too long before they filled right back up again, and that's when they lost my trust. So until they stop spraying our skies, I cannot promote them anymore. I am not their enemy. If they are not my enemy, they are my friend. And that's the way I look at it. And the pressure we put on them is going to make what other people think is fairy tale, la la land, is going to bring it into reality. These 1%ers that want to help, it would be stupid to help us because of how divided we are. But we're uniting right now. We're going to make it a smart decision to choose our side. And we're doing it together. It's happening.